Question 23. Element E is a metal in group 1 of the periodic table, and element G is a non-metal in group 7. Okay, and then they are saying that both of these elements form oxides. If this a group 1 forms an oxide, the oxide has to be basic. Okay, basic oxides. When you dissolve the oxides of group 1, you form hydroxides, and these are alkaline solutions, you see. So these are basic oxides, and then for nonmetals they form acidic oxides. So if I get something like sulfur dioxide and I dissolve it in water, then I'll form sulfurous acid. Or if I get sulfur trioxide, you dissolve it in water, you'll get sulfuric acid, you see. So they form acidic oxides. Now here they are saying which statement about their oxides is correct. Both are acidic, automatically that is wrong. Both are basic, that is wrong. The oxide of E is acidic. I said it is what? Basic. So even this one is wrong. The oxide of G is acidic. Yes. And the oxide of E, no. Pardon me here. I've said the oxide of G is acidic. It is here, yes. And the oxide of E is basic, which is here. That one is also correct. So meaning our answer has to be this D here. Question 24. Lead 2 sulfate is an insoluble salt. Which method is suitable for obtaining the pure solid of lead 2 sulfate? Now this one, of course, we have, since it is insoluble, we have to obtain it by filtration. So I can get all the contents in, let's say, one beaker that are having that lead sulfate, and then I pour it here. I may have this one as my filter funnel. Okay, then when I pour the contents in here, they are going to filter. Okay, so those ones, the ones that are soluble, because it is in a solution. So this one here is a solid, it is there as a suspension, for which it is going to remain here as the residue. Okay, as the residue, and this is the one that I want. So after filtering, then I'm going to dry this one between the filter papers. Okay, and then I keep it. So it has to be amongst the filtration. But look at A. Mix aqueous lead 2 nitrate. Now lead 2 nitrate is a soluble salt, but lead 2, I mean, it has gotten lead 2 ions. And when you add aqueous potassium sulfate, they are sulfate ions. So when these two meet, even this one is a soluble salt. So when these two now react, they are going to form lead 2 sulfate, which is the white precipitate, okay, which is an insoluble salt. Now, that means you're going to get it as a suspension in here, okay. Then they are saying heat to evaporate all the water, then collect the solid, and then wash and dry. That is for the one which is soluble, because you heat the water, then the salt that is dissolved in the water remains behind. So that is wrong. And then number 2, mix aqueous lead 2 nitrate and aqueous potassium sulfate, filter and collect the filtrate. Crystallize, then wash and dry the crystals. This one is, now you are dealing with what is in the filtrate, which is soluble, and yet this one is insoluble. Even that one is wrong. Then C, mix aqueous lead 2 nitrate, dilute sulfuric acid, you will still form the lead 2 sulfate. Filter, then wash and dry the residue. This is exactly what I've been talking about. So the answer has to be that C. But when you look at the titrate aqueous lead 2 nitrate, this is about soluble substances. Okay, you don't titrate using now the one. You are going to form lead 2 sulfate, and it is a precipitate in there. It is going to interfere with the reaction. Here we are supposed to deal with soluble substances. Then they react. We put there an indicator. That indicator is the one that tells us that the reaction is complete. You see? So this one cannot work. So we have to get our answer here as C.